Spellcasters have a lot to rejoice about when it comes to the 2024 update because some of these low-level spells that used to not even get looked at are now some of the best spells you can take at the lower levels. In this video, I'm going to go over the spells that I think saw massive changes that now make them definitely in the discussion about what spells to pick at lower levels, because now there is a lot of variety. One of the spells that I think got the absolute best glow up, and it might even be a little overpowered, is going to be Witchbolt. Witchbolt saw its range increase to 60 feet. Not only that, but on a hit, which is a ranged attack, spell attack, you will deal 2d12. But it gets even better. Even if you miss that attack, every round from that point forward, you can use your bonus action to take another attack for a chance at 1d12. This will of course scale as you get higher in levels and use higher level spell slots. But at base level, you can just go ahead and take the attack. If you hit, great, you do 2d12. If you miss, who cares? The next turn, you're going to bonus action from 1d12, which means you can pair that with other spells. So let's just take the basics. At level 1, you can throw out a Witchbolt. Whether you hit or not, doesn't matter. Next round, as long as that target has been hit, you Toll of the Dead. Now you're hitting it for 2d12 every single turn at level 1. How many mobs can live through 24 points of damage at level 1? And again, this is going to scale. Witchbolt is actually insane now. Yes, it's a concentration, but I mean, come on, 60 feet. They move towards you. They have to dash to make it to you to really even get that hit if you play your cards right. And Witchbolt is just really good. And think about how many other things you can combine that with now. The glow up that Witchbolt got made it insane. And I think most people are going to be taking that spell now because a free 1d12 or more every turn as a bonus action is going to be really good. Next up, we're going to talk about Barkskin. Barkskin is no longer concentration. It lasts an hour, and they bumped up the AC to 17. So now you can just look at your barbarian or your spellcaster and be like, hey, you have a 17 armor class now for the next hour, and I don't have to do anything. I can still cast spells and use concentration, do everything else. So it's really just a, hey, do we think a fight's coming up? Or shoot, first round, you just go, bonus action, here's 17. That's right, it's a bonus action to make somebody's armor class or yours a 17 off rip. As a low level spell, that is very good. And to be fair, it's gonna be kind of solid through the first couple of levels. Now let's talk about Blade Ward. Blade Ward isn't the resistance anymore, but it's actually quite good. It does require concentration. However, imagine this, a fighter takes Magic Initiate with the free feat at level 1, and then all of a sudden they're able to go, hey, Blade Ward, great. They have Constitution proficiency for saving throws. They have a high constitution probably because they're a fighter. So it's hard to knock off of them. And now they're harder to hit because they throw that on themselves. And now every time something tries to hit them, that thing has to roll a d4 and subtract the result from their attack bonus. So I could see this getting used a lot on martial classes. I think it's going to be very good in that regard. Before we jump over to the next spell, if you are enjoying this content, please do consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a thumbs up as it helps me immensely. But now let's get back to the spells. Moving on to True Strike. So True Strike now allows you to make an attack with your spell casting ability modifier, which means, you know, if you're a wisdom user, you have a +4 wisdom, you'll use that now plus your proficiency to take this attack. Not only that, but it will deal radiant damage. Therefore, if it has fire resistance or something else, you need magic damage, you will now bypass that. In addition to that, it now scales starting at level 5. It will deal even more damage and it gets better. Unlike things like Booming Blade, you can use this one with ranged weapons. So True Strike is a lot better and may actually see some use instead of something you look at and go, yeah, definitely not. Next up, we're going to talk about Sleep. So the new version of Sleep is very different. It's different in almost every way. So the range is shorter. The radius is smaller. However, you are no longer limited to hit points, which is something that really just took a lot of good, strong creatures out of the discussion. You were never going to be able to put to sleep the BBEG, which maybe you shouldn't be able to. That's up to you and your DM to decide. However, now it's just a wisdom saving throw. So they make a wisdom saving throw. It's a save or suck. However, they will then be incapacitated if they fail. It will take 2 saves to make them unconscious. So they'll take the first save. If they fail, they are incapacitated. Next turn, they will do another save, and if they fail that one, they are now unconscious. Just like before, then if somebody deals damage to them or somebody shakes them awake within 5 feet, then they will wake up again. But I think this definitely allows you to target specific areas or creatures with it and actually have that chance, right? Instead of just rolling the dice and hoping you have the hit points, no. They will make a wisdom saving throw. And to be fair, a lot of monsters do not have good wisdom saving throws, a lot of creatures in general. So you will probably see some more success with this. It's just going to be done very differently, and I think it's a glow up for targeting very specific things. Now let's quickly throw in healing spells. I'm just going to kind of lump these together, but Healing Word and Cure Wounds, fantastic changes. They now heal for double, and then every spell level that you use higher doubles it again. So 2d8 at base for Cure Wounds, 2d4 for Healing Word, and if you use a second level spell slot, 4d8, 4d4. Fantastic, love that. Actually makes healing in combat something more viable. So great changes for those. Those are huge glow ups, and we might actually see people healing in combat now. Magic Weapon is another spell that will see way more use now, as it no longer requires concentration. Means that you can just go, hey, I think a fight's coming up. It lasts an hour. You say, you now have a +1 weapon. That's it. End of discussion. You just go out, they now have that weapon, or you have that weapon. Even better, if you use a higher level spell slot, it is now a +2. So at level 3 spells, which it used to be at level 4, so even that got better, use a level 3 spell slot, you just handed somebody a +2 weapon for an hour. It's fantastic. It's going to see way more use now. And lastly, we're going to talk about Chromatic Orb. So this one will now deal a hefty amount of damage and have the chance to bounce to other targets. So how does the spell work? Basically, you rolled a hit, because you're throwing it at somebody, choosing a damage type, and then it does 3d8 damage. If you upcast it, you add a d8 per level, and you add a target. So you throw it out there, you deal 3d8. If any of those numbers are the same number, say roll a 2 and a 2, guess what? You just hit another target for 3d8. You upcast it, you hit them for 48. Oh, 2 of the same number. You hit another target for 48. Oh, 2 of the same number. You hit another target for 4d8. It's insane if you get that luck. Now, I get it. It is based on luck, but there are things you can do to help you accomplish that. So this is definitely something that is quite powerful if you use it at these lower levels and even higher levels to just be able to ping a bunch of different enemies at once. It does a lot of damage, and this bounce makes it way better. So it's definitely worth putting on this list. And there you have the list of spells that I think have the biggest glow up and now are truly viable when it comes to low level spells and Dungeons and Dragons. But now it's time for you to share your thoughts. So down in the comments below, did I get one wrong? Is there one that I missed? Is there one that you think actually isn't as good as I think it is? Speak your mind down in the comments and let me and others know how you feel about it. And if you enjoy TTRPG and Dungeons and Dragons content, please once again consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a thumbs up. It helps me a lot when it comes to the algorithm and of course getting more of this content into your feed. If you want to support me directly monetarily, you can become a member here on YouTube by clicking the join button down below, or of course heading over to my Patreon at patreon.com/levelupdm, where I have a bunch of goodies both paid and free. So even if you don't want to pay, go over there and get some good stuff. I have some exciting stuff that I'm still planning on putting over there. But thank you all for watching, and of course, until next time, good luck in your adventures.